What is going on, everybody? We are back for another episode of the All About Counter-Strike podcast. It's episode 46. It's been a crazy few days since HLTV Awards coming into now and just how everything is. I'll do my usual. It is the 12th of January, 2026. We are filming this very late considering Blast starts tomorrow. But that's what happens when Devilwalk's at the award show, you know. Too busy partying. But before I ask you anything about that, so it's the 12th of January, 2026. Right now for me in Malta, which is where Blast is being held, it is 9:29? 8:28. Damn it, I still had Ukrainian time. 8:28 for me. And that means it's 8:28 for you as well.
Yeah, it just popped over to 29 on my PC, but
that's close enough.
29 over there, right? It's fine.
Bro,
but yeah. Been
I'm wrecked. I'm like, I didn't even party. I didn't go to the award show, you know. Wife is pregnant, need to be like traveling less. By the way, she can't go on a plane anymore. Like, she's at the amount of weeks where they don't let you on planes anymore.
Yeah.
So there's no opportunity for this. So she's fully chilling. She's fully resting. So obviously I'm going away for 2 weeks to do Blast. I didn't want to go to the awards as well. We had some things we need to take care of. Did that. But what's crazy right now is my travel day. So I'm just going to tell you how bad this was. I've been awake since yesterday, Ukraine time.
You're gonna do this one, and I'll explain my journey back from the awards after.
Okay. Yours probably worse because you were hungover as well, so that's also that. I'm guessing. But so I've been awake since yesterday, 11 a.m. Ukraine time, 12 Europe time. Yeah, doing all my stuff to get ready for the event. Plan to have a little nap and sleep, and then we go into the airport and. Bro, we've had so much snow. I know where you are, there's snow all the time. So you're used to this. But there was so much snow. It was -9. Traffic was crazy. People at the border were crazy. Like, everything that could go wrong. Anyway, I'm leaving at like 10 p.m. Ukraine time. So it's not even too bad, right? It's quite late at night. A lot of people, especially if they have kids or anything, they're not traveling at that time. So I went across the border. It was so easy. No problems. Maybe waited an hour on the border. Went to the airport. I thought, hey, I've been blessed. This is going to be just easy. And then I had to take 3 flights. Slovakia, Košice to Warsaw, Warsaw to Munich, Munich to Malta. Every single one had problems. Bro, on the last flight, I was on the runway, on the plane for an hour and 30 minutes before we flew. And they had to de-ice the plane. And then it iced again, and then they had to de-ice it again before we went. So I didn't get anywhere near the sleep I wanted to get. I landed straight in Malta, had to go to rehearsals today. And so after I've done this podcast, I'm going to bed.
2 hours.
Oh, they were so small. Like you know, the first one was an hour, second one was an hour and 30, and the third one was like 2 hours 10. So it's all so small. So, you know, like, even when you're napping on the plane, you're sleeping for that, such a small, it's like, sleep, wake up. Sleep, wake up. It was just, nothing good. So you're going to have to carry this episode. I'm just putting that out there right now. This is, you need to mega carry.
I don't think that it's...
no, well, you have to.
Okay, let me explain mine. Yours sounded like shit, I'll be honest. But a little bit hungover. Woke up at... Well, we left the hotel at around... I would say it was 10:30 Serbian time, which is 1 hour ahead, if I'm not mistaken.
No, Serbian time, same as Europe time.
Is it?
Yeah, same time zone.
Okay. Well, we left 10:30 from the hotel, had our first flight to, we're going Belgrade to Thessaloniki in Greece.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
We're flying the wrong
Greece.
way. Yeah. Not much of issues. I think it's just a long day, hungover, you're tired, you're kind of in this zombie mode.
Worst flights ever when you're hungover.
Yeah, and then we have the best flight, you know. A 3-hour, 15-minute flight from Thessaloniki to Stockholm with Ryanair.
Oh, no.
Yes.
What can go wrong?
What can go wrong? And, you know, we booked these flights just to get it as cheap as possible, basically, because we booked it so late. So we have about...
So then it still wasn't that cheap because you booked it late. Yeah? That's what you're telling me.
But pretty much. but still like a 2.5 hour transfer window in each zone. So in Greece and then Stockholm. But go on that flight. I think we are entering the buses that travel to the flight when we're supposed to lift, essentially.
Okay,
and
so you're
because
already
we
delayed.
booked it in this way, we have to go out of the gate, take our bag from baggage claim, go in and
recheck the bags in. Yeah.
recheck everything in, right? So because of this Ryanair flight being almost an hour late in terms of time of just starting and getting to Stockholm,
Yeah.
we are so fucking stressed when we get to Stockholm. We're there at around, I think we're supposed to land at 18 and we landed around, I don't know, 19 something. But then you have to wait for the baggage claim. And there's the first thing we see as we walk out the baggage claim is there's just like mountains of bags on the sides of the airport. And we're like,
this is going to be hell. Yeah.
This does not look good. We were fortunate enough that our bag came and it was pretty swift, but it left us with about, I think, 55 minutes until boarding. It was when we got the bag.
That's
so we had to
terrible.
really rush in to, get our bag. Because sometimes, even if you get into the place where you're checking in, sometimes they won't even take your bag because it's so close to the flight, right? But I think we just managed to squeeze in there, get our bag into things, and then, kind of started to relax. But then obviously, our last flight was an hour late. So we would have made it no matter what. But it ended up with us being, I think we came home to the apartment at, it was midnight. So
Yeah.
So it was a pretty long day, pretty rough, but it was good by getting back to sleep, getting a shower, getting all that, like, I don't know. You know how it is when you travel a long day, you sweat, and then that sweat kind of it gets cold and gets stuck on your skin, and then you sweat again, and you're almost creating layers and layers of sweat while traveling.
Dude, look at my hair, yeah? So I can't wash my hair right now. I've just come straight from rehearsals into this and do the podcast. So my hair is oily. My face is oily. I don't smell too bad. I keep myself fresh, yeah? I'm actually happy with the smell. I'm not going to be polluting other people near me. That's not good behavior.
That's good.
But I need a fucking shower. I definitely need a shower. So I fully understand you. How did you enjoy the awards though, right? Let's talk about some positives other than our crazy travel days.
I thought it was really fun. I mean, there's a lot of people I know in the industry, but there's also a lot of people that I don't know. So there was a vast amount of people who I honestly had very little clue of who was who and what they are doing and all that kind of stuff. And the event itself was, it's probably closer to 300-400 people, maybe even more, who was attending there. So there was a huge amount of people.
It should. So what the numbers they put out there, obviously, is I think it's like 1,000 was expected. Obviously, some people like me and my wife, we didn't turn up, right?
Maybe there was even 1,000,
but last year,
a huge amount.
Last year was like 500, for example, right? So it's doubled in size, and they've done an impressive job with that. When you say people you don't know, though, you mean probably like not the players, the coaches and stuff, not the talent, but like the industry people, right? Who are like back staff for companies. Yeah, there's a lot of them people.
So there was not that many teams that attended. I mean, a lot more like, there was probably more old school players that I've played with or against than actual active players currently that was there. Because obviously you had people like OlofMeister. Will talk about his inductee to the Hall of Fame later, but I saw like Scream, Kenny S, these kinds of people. A lot of the old CIS rosters with Edvard, Flamey, Starix. Maybe not Starix, but I saw Cease.
I didn't see Stars. Zeus was there. Cease definitely there. Yeah.
Zeus was there. Cease was there, and there's a lot of people. I've attended events. We've competed against each other, and it's so many years since you've seen each other that it was just great to kind of get a chance to talk to them again and see, both people's excitement just to see each other. So that was good fun. I think the event itself being there was great. They had, there's no like, sometimes when you get that many people, sometimes it's hard to get a drink, hard to get something like, you know what I mean? Like there's 1,000
Yeah.
people. How are we gonna, distribute the alcohol in a fluent manner? That's like the logistics you have to be really careful when doing these events.
But
But they did a
I
great job.
obviously I went the past 2 years, right, when it was obviously smaller than what you just attended. And
Yeah.
one thing they hit the nail on the head is like people walking around with them little food trays, like I
Yeah,
like my
that's
food, these
exactly
little
it.
snack trays. Oh my God. Imagine you're like, this is a celebration of Counter. That's the way I position the HLTV Awards, right? Because HLTV already does so much good stuff for Counter-Strike. They then create this award show, which is also a celebration of Counter-Strike. Now, it doesn't mean all players and stuff are going to be there because it's very close to practice time. Like you mentioned, not everyone's there. People obviously who are receiving awards, maybe receiving awards, people who are just close by, maybe boot camping at the hotel at that time, like Falcons were, some of them will come down. But like, this is the best award show in any esports. They are actually winning right now in every way. Like this is crazy. Obviously, OlofMeister, Skin Club, big partners of it, so they can help fund this kind of thing. But like the Rolexes for the Hall of Famers it's just it's mad. It's so cool. It's crazy, right? So we're on a whole
I
other
gotta check
level.
Olof's Rolex out once he got it.
Did you see it?
And I also checked.
Oh,
Yeah, and I also checked Pottis because I met Potti there as well.
Yes, yeah. Legend.
So I checked his one as well. They're pretty cool. Pretty cool.
No, they're very nice, very nice. But yeah, I was just sad I couldn't go. Family has to come first, so there's no problem with that. Obviously,
very empty on my row where Banks was supposed to sit there with Lily, with +1.
Yeah, there's seat for me and my wife. Someone took a picture of it for us and sent it to us, and I was like, yeah, sorry. No, not this time.
Eventually,
I did apologize to
Turkish
Prof.
guys invaded and took the spots because Aurora guys were sitting right in front of your spots.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we got
That's
company.
Right. Make use of it. You had some friends for the event. So we'll start with my thing, right? I want to go over it so quickly. Hugo hand delivered it to me today, back to back. Talent of the year. Yeah, you're surprised, aren't you? You didn't expect to see it today.
That you have it. Yeah. No, I didn't see.
Exactly.
You have it now.
For my side of things, I just want to say thank you to everyone who votes for me, everyone who likes my work. It's greatly appreciated. People, you're just talking for everyone, but people have to remember with this as well, because like, bro, I saw so many comments, things like this. Yeah, like it is a community fan vote. Yeah, and I'm active on all social media. I've had for like 2 years now, posting content on Chinese social media. I sell my mousepad in China already, right, where I got it produced. I've gone and done tours out there. Like I'm ingrained in it. So yeah, I take advantage to say to my fans, like I do on Twitter, like I do on Instagram, vote for me if you like my work, and people enjoy it. People support it. This award doesn't say best talent. Yeah. This is just talent of the year as voted by the Counter-Strike community and by the fans. And that's how I take it. But for me, I want to win this every year. Yeah. If the fans like what I do, the fans support me, that's a good thing for me. And I'm really happy that people still like so many people's comments about Budapest and what we've done and like the work we put in terms of like the broadcast to the stage, then into a podcast, all these things we were doing. It's great. It's absolutely great. I do think it is a little bit flawed though in some ways because me, Sponge, and Freya all have there's 3 different roles. So basically, for us being finalists, you should probably give us all an award: best commentator, best host, best interviewer, for example, something like that, right? That could be a way HLTV could do it next year, whatever.
Yeah,
but I'm very thankful for that.
I'm expansion for that.
And I never take it for granted that people like it and people support me. So it's a massive one. Do you know what? We'll start to talk about some of the other awards because it's not just about talking about my award. But again, I'm very thankful. So thank you so much to everyone. It is massively appreciated. Hate me, love me, whatever it is. That's just the way it goes. I'm not going to be everyone's favorite. And I will say this about just Counter-Strike in general. This even relates to the game and the state of the game. The negative, angry people are more vocal than the positive ones. But the positive ones we meet at events and see in these situations, right? They're always there supporting. They're in the Discords. They're in the DMs. They're like, and maybe they're just not as vocal, but that's just the way it is. I'm happy with what I do. To go on to the next one, event of the year. Honestly, between Cologne, Austin, and Starladder, I expected Austin to win. It was super close, 37% for Starladder who won, and then 34.2% for Blast. I think in this category, by the way, the majors will always win. It'll be a major that wins. I don't think ever a Cologne, a Krakow, or someone else would win.
I think that people, I mean, this is probably recency bias, and that's why these, you know, the closer the events are, that probably in general are going to get a bigger kind of voting for, because, oh, that's the one I watched, and that's the people who are active now. Some people that watched Austin might have dropped off. You know, people come and go in Counter-Strike in that sense from the community and have stints in the community. But I think Melbourne should have been in there. I thought,
it was an insane event.
Even us talking about it, that it was such a good
event. How good the final was.
It was the first event that I thought of when I looked at the category of event of the year.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm happy to have been part of the event that won it, but I think a lot of people can discuss that.
But also, my viewpoint on this, right, when it comes to event of the year, it's not so much the tournament organizer, it's the games. I think fans are voting about the games. It has nothing to do with talent, the stage, the fans, the arena, the history of the event. For example, Cologne, right? No one cares about that. I think when people are voting for event of the year as the community, they think, what games do I remember? And like you said, there might be some recency bias, but also the playoffs, other than maybe the grand final, were absolutely stacked and insane for Budapest, you know? So that probably had a massive carry on through on it.
I had some different storylines that were interesting compared to, I mean, Austin was kind of like Vitality will win it. And they won
expected
it. That was the storyline. I mean, it was Vitality gonna win it, 98% chance or not, the 2% chance. And Starladder was more exciting as a neutral coming into it. That there was so many
favorites
angles that it could go. Especially, you know, you saw Navi have a resurgence, knocking out what was the favorite at the end at the major. There was the face storyline of, you know, they fucking sucked to being in a grand final of a major. So I think these tidbits where a lot of different kind of portion of fans got engaged more into the event itself compared to maybe Austin.
Next one was Streamer of the Year. Ohne wins it back to back to back. The three-peat. He's doing what Astralis has done. You know, he's in a league of his own right now and a huge amount of votes. A lot of people complaining about this, right? But Ohne, whether you like him or you don't, you like that kind of content or not, right? Like for me, I watch Ohne when it's not tournaments, when he's doing his own streams. I'll choose the main tournament broadcast over Ohne for the other timing of things, right? I'll watch the official broadcast. But he has such a huge community, the views he brings, what he does for the scene, you know, how he has his own style, his own way. Like, no one can knock this guy. And I think it's a deserved one. I did think Everlone would be able to tip the scales because obviously he's Ukrainian, but he brings in also the Russian speaking at the same time. And his, by the way, if you look at his like following, he outranks the rest of them within this. But I did hear that like Everlone maybe not push for this because he has another betting partner and wouldn't want to be seen winning this betting partner's sponsored event, you know? So that was a little thing that came out. But I think Flom being in second, Flom carries North American CS and his own brand and now his own LAN event. We'll talk about the Flom LAN later on as well. But Ohne is in a league of his own when it comes to this. So that's all I have to say on that part personally.
Yep. And we had Creator of the Year, which Dima Wallhacks or Dima Aimbots, whatever you want to call it.
I don't know. By the way, this is so funny because it says Aimbots here, but like when I talk to him on DMs,
it
because his Instagram is Dimmer_Wallhacks.
Yeah.
So whatever, he's got two. I'll say this about Dimmer. He makes some of this organic, fun, challenge content, so well with pro players, with ex-pros, with community members, like going invisible, yeah? So the other people can't see you. And then you're going against, I don't know, 20, 30 bots, and you have to try and get a hostage without dying and take it all the way back to spawn on Italy, for example. He did content where Simple and Rain had wall hacks, and they were playing against 10 silvers, then 20 silvers, blah, blah, blah. It kept going and going, you know? Like, he did official content for FaZe this time. So this win is so deserved. And bro, he lives and breathes. He's young, but he lives and breathes this game. Like you can see his passion in the content he's doing. And some people were, I don't know, I should stop reading comments. Some people were like, I don't know who this guy is. I've never seen his content. I'm like, but he just might not be the content that you watch. Like, it's not a frag movie. It's not guides and stuff like that. It's more fun. But he has a good way, in my opinion, of bridging like the pro scene and the casual gap and playing games himself. And he is just entertaining for this younger generation. I really like him. I met him at JL's wedding the first time, like face to face, and just honestly, top guy. Fully deserved the win.
I think he deserves it. I've heard a lot about his stuff. I've watched maybe 4 of his videos in my lifetime, but that's more than some other content creators in Counter-Strike. I'd rather play. Yeah. I'd rather watch games myself. I'm that part of the community.
That is you. Yeah.
But the things that I've heard and the things that that you speak about, where he's creative, he kind of comes up with content ideas for a game that lacks content in a way that, in that sense, it's really important, because we are by heart and by foundation a community-driven esports, and we need all kinds of people, even if it's KZ or bunny hopping or whatever it is, surfing, we need that kind of stuff as well.
All the challenges he's doing. Yeah. And I'm glad you said that, because this is we have to remember, when I first started playing Counter-Strike in 2003, I didn't leave a public server. Yeah, I didn't play a competitive game. I didn't play a 5v5 game. I was playing strange modes. I was playing gravity mode. I was playing Scout Snipes when that came around. I was playing Rats, for example. The Simpsons map that was in there, which, by the way, I'm sure that copyright wouldn't work today if you had that in 2026. I don't think that would fly. Like, that's what we were. We were doing all these fun things, killing time with friends. And you remember when I did that thing at Halloween? I spent time with them German guys. I did a Halloween. Like that. When I went and did that, I just went and played with these guys I didn't know. It was me and Gooseman, the creator of Counter-Strike. We agreed to play with these guys from Reddit that we met. They just dropped us a DM, and they're all old guys. Yeah, I say old guys, not like they're fucking 50s and stuff, but they've been playing Counter-Strike since day one, and they still come together, have a LAN. And you know what? When I was playing that with these guys, I got that community feel again, that enjoyment of just not caring about the rank, not caring about the grind and going through it. And that's like, that content is so important, because some people just want to relax and have fun and play,
Yeah.
And that's also where we need Valve to make some more of this stuff pop up again, There's definitely some onus on them to bring it through.
Virre is more of a... He does frag movies. And Nade King obviously shows you lineups and stuff. And pro plays and whatever.
Skin of the year after this. By the way, I'll say I'm skin of the year.
I will say like this. You talk about this. Yeah. I'll go get another can of snooze. And I'll be back when you're finished about this one, because I don't give a shit.
Yeah, you're not a skin, man. So Devilwalk really isn't, like, considering he's been around the block a long time, he is an old man. He could have had some amazing skins back in the day and kept them until now and made lots of money. But he didn't ever care about that stuff. He's not a skin person. I'll say this. When I looked at the list, Shinobu, really nice Glock. Really cool design, the purple one. Full Throttle, it's pretty good. I think it's quite common. I see a lot of people starting to use it at the moment, especially as the A4 gets more popular. But Print Stream in general is a skin that I know so many people love and enjoy. So there was not really a surprise from me that this one won. Like, everyone just
I got a comment on
such a good skin.
Number 2 for who made the Shinobu Glock 18.
Yeah.
That name in Swedish means meow.
I can kind of read it as horror meow, yeah. Horror
Yep.
meow. Horror meow. Where's like
Just
this a
means or
crazy.
meow.
Yeah. What a name. What a name.
Yep.
We can skip past that though anyway. Hall of Fame inductees. Let's start with your boy. We got two of our boys within this. OlofMeister. Obviously, could have come back to FaZe at any point. They kept bringing him back over and over again, but he's now retired, streaming. By the way, does an awesome stream, keeps it fun, keeps it fresh, plays a lot of faces still. But I like Olof with his career. Obviously, you made room for him. You coached him. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a
You'd be
great
better
time.
to talk about him than me.
I mean, I don't know where to start. I mean, for me, I mean, even if we go back to when we picked him up, he was always considered in CS:GO, no matter if he played in top teams in the beginning, which he kind of like played in a couple, but mostly on a almost semi-casual level. But he was
Okay.
always the best in gather channels, always the best in kind of pickup games. Didn't matter if Forest was in it or Get Right was in it or all of the Fnatic boys were in it. He was one of the best players, and he was for a long time. It was just such a no-brain decision to pick him up because he could do it all. Everything from communicating, making calls, organizing, telling people to kind of get serious in the game, and having a voice
Okay.
um, on the server and in the team speak.
Mm-hmm.
To rifle entry, opening, lurking, he could do it all. So an incredibly valuable player, and the impact he's had is actually insane. Actually insane. And I think that this Fnatic lineup that became, the best of that time, would never have
Yeah.
worked without a player like him who, took a lot of responsibility and made sure that even if we played a very loose style, it made it, kind of hold together because he could be the one taking charge and being a little bit of a leader on the side, telling people how he wanted things done on his side of the map, and taking that space for himself. Just an unbelievable player to have coached, played with, against. Yeah, absolute well deserved Hall of Fame inductee.
And then I'm going to go from Olaf to Markelov because Markelov, for people who only looked at him in CSGO, they might not see so much of a wow factor in him. And this isn't just because he's Ukrainian. This guy just dominated everyone and everything when he exploded onto the scene. And I'm so glad he shouted out Arbalete for being able to help them have a platform to go from, had the Arbalete Cups at that time. Put the funding, I guess, or whatever else he did. I don't know the full story into Navi all the way back then. But this Markelov, this Zeus, this team they had was the Navi I fell in love with all that time ago in 2011. And
I think he
he was such
revolutionized AWPing.
such a remarkable player. And the one thing is, obviously coming from a region with a lot less money, a lot less funding, right? This opportunity, what they would get from each tournament, this hunger they had, it was unmatched. And like, it was just so impressive to watch. And if you've got some time, go back and watch Markelov 1.6 highlights, movies, videos. They're still out there on YouTube. But like, him as a inductee is huge for having him in the Hall of Fame. It's great to have another 1.6 into CSGO, like he's gone on that journey. And by the way, he still streams a lot now. We played some games with him, you remember?
Yep.
When CS2 was first coming out, we played a few matches with him, and he still got it, by the way. Still giving there was one overpass we played with him, and he dropped 40. He was just annihilated him.
Yeah, he was insane. I've heard stories of people who obviously competed against him in 1.6 for some of the Swedish guys, and they used to always say that sometimes you would almost you play train, you would almost feel like, okay, he's playing inside alone, let's just execute on him, and he would just ace them, and it was almost impossible to challenge him because he was so damn quick on that sniper that it just you know, when you have a player like that who you can just put him alone and the rest of the team just plays the other bomb site, and you know it's almost more dangerous to go against the solo guy. That's when you know you have something special and you're facing something special. So
Yeah.
I watched a lot of Navi from, I would say, probably 2011 to 13, those 2 years. I pretty much watched them exclusively at the end of 1.6. Incredible to watch. It was almost overpowered to have him there. It was kind of like a Kenny S vibe to some degree, just in the pure impact, not in the same gameplay. But yeah, well deserved.
And the last one, another one for a bit of a history lesson. Although Kogu has been involved in CSGO even recently, like coaching, streaming, even went back onto MIBR as a coach for a short stint before being a manager. I'm not sure if he's on any team right now. I don't think so. I think he's completely just chilling and streaming. But Kogu was a player who was just feared, you know? They won ESWC back in 2006, I think it was. And at that time in CS, for a Brazilian team to win that was crazy. He was such a dominant individual player. He could do it all. He was just so impressively strong. And I think
he
obviously
was
we all talk
the
about
number
Fallen now
one
and stuff.
rated. I think he was the number one rated player at the end of 1.6 if you looked stats pages. Obviously, maybe a little bit influenced by
really?
Brazilian matches. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was number one. I think Get Right was number 2 at the end. But
Neo
I'm
must
pretty
have been
sure that
third,
was
right?
the case. Yeah, Neo, Forest, all them guys were definitely on that top 5. But yeah, that was just a little bit tidbit. I remember checking the stats, player stats on 1.6 long time ago, and Kogu was always number 1.
But yeah, another well-deserved one. And I feel like this was a good balance. It was 3 this time, not 4 like we had last time, right? We had Get Right, Forest, Body and Heaton. I really want to see for next year. For me, it's just a personal one, right? Like Spawn is my close friend, but also all-time favorite player. Like I was the mega fan of him and Heaton. And obviously I got to work with them later on in my career when we were doing all the ZywOo stuff back in 2009. But Spawn is just like, he deserves this induction because the aggressive rifle style he played, while also being so mechanically gifted and smart, he added that edge to that SK NIP teams that he joined later on that just exploded everything.
Yeah,
because there was a time when they had obviously Element, and you thought when they lost Element that like they wouldn't be able to recover from this. This guy was the perfect replacement, and like I hope next year he does. He like for me, I'm not on the committee, I'm not on this panel, but for me, has to be next year for him because he was one of those front runners at the very beginning. But I also think it's missing maybe like one of the American 1.6 guys and stuff in there at the same time.
Yeah, I don't even know exactly the whole HLTV inductee list, if I'm completely honest.
He was on the list again this year, just didn't get voted in by the committee. Obviously, everyone has to put their votes in and do it. He's been on it both years, but I'm hoping next year it's going to be for Spawn. I need to see him on there. Not just for the failed Ninja Diffusers, so many people watch over and over again. All right, let's go on to the women's esports side of things. So obviously, for so long, it had been Anna winning. It had been the Imperial team winning, you know, the women's team of the year, player of the year. Finally, things turn around, you know? Things change up a little bit in here. Big Equipper wins women's team of the year. Obviously, there's no impact next year. Things are going to change. It's going to get a lot harder. But I'm sure, I don't know this, by the way, but I'm sure HLTV will keep doing this as long as there's games, as long as the scene is pushing. And Astra wins women's player of the year as well. And then off the back of what I saw that, Anna left her team. And so obviously she's looking to get hungry and fight back into it because she'd won it all the previous times. So yeah, this is
replaced
a
by
good,
a
healthy
player as well.
See, good, healthy. Look, Anna won 22, 23, 24, 3 years in a row. So this is her first year not winning it.
But I think what's
She's
special
hungry. I
about
saw
this
her tweet.
one is that Astra is the in-game leader of Big Equipa.
Yeah, bro. When I heard, because obviously I'm not following, right? I'm not going to pretend I'm following in any way. When I heard that on the announcement that she's the IGL, I was like, what are we cooking with here? Like, what? That is. Have you ever heard of that? Have you ever heard of that?
Heard of it. I mean, if anything,
I've never heard of an IGL as the best player.
The most recent example is Tabson in Big.
But when Tabson was good, he wasn't the best player in the world.
No, he wasn't best player in the world, but I'm just saying an example of being the best in the team, at least.
Okay. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
It's impressive, man. It's very impressive.
Very impressive.
Like, that's not easy to do at all. Leading a team, dominating a team. Obviously, me and Devilwalk are not massively following the scene or anything like that, but it has to be given a mention because that on its own is crazy. Yeah. Okay, this one I'm so happy about for the next one. Rookie of the Year, Molodoy, and this wasn't even close. No one was even close. I don't care what stats Kioski has, how well Makazi was playing. Molodoy was in a league of his own, and I called this out on this podcast after Astana that he would win this award because I just saw that he was different. And that's before the MVPs, before everything else. This guy is, well, they keep saying in Brazil, right? He's the truth, and he is. He's definitely the truth.
Yeah, I mean, there's not that much to say about. I think everyone who's watched Event or Counter-Strike this year has watched Molodoy, have seen his craziness, the amount of impact, how much people have spoken about him as kind of the headliner of what changed in FURIA and what made them go from like a top 20 team in the world to being up there among the very, very best. So, yes, he didn't play the entire year, but it was an incredible amount of impact that he had for this FURIA side, and is a major reason why they picked up trophies, why they won tournaments, and why they are an incredibly interesting team to follow for 2026.
Exactly. Vitality winning team of the year. Okay, this is not a surprise to anyone. I loved, by the way, when the announcement was coming from Hooch. If they were like they were trying to get out of seats, they're waiting for Hooch to say it, and then we can go now. We can go on a stage. Obviously, we don't need to say anything here. Like, they were just incredible. Yeah, they were such a good team.
Yeah. They were already on their feet when he opened the envelope.
Yeah, exactly. They know. They know what time it is.
They were sitting in front of me, so I saw them.
For the rest of the awards, we don't really need to go through, right? Because we already did it on our list, right, of who we thought it would be. People should have watched the awards anyway and seen the rest. I'm not going to spend the whole time.
I can go through them quickly. Player of the Year, ZywOo.
And obviously, people, if you want to disagree with that, go look at the last episode of the podcast. By the way, look, actually, I need to stop talking. I need to talk about this opener of the year. Next year, and even Nero had said this on the when he's talking with Sponge and Strike and everyone, it does need some slight changing because Flamesy and Donk are very different openers. Yeah?
Yes.
But
this is what I talked about. Like, Donk is a soft entry. He's the one with freedom. Flamesy is not a freedom-based entry guy. He's a hard entry. He's the one that's supposed to push a very specific line in the strat, run in. Let's take Mirage an example. If Donk enters Mirage, he will jump up on Tetris and aim to trade. If Flamesy enters Mirage from A-ramp, he will be pushing to clear Sandwich, Shadow, and run straight into default, between default and fire, and push towards that CT to create as much space as possible for this Vitality side. Whilst, yes, Donk might get the initial entry part and duty as he enters a site sometimes, he's not the one that is creating space. He is the one killing people.
Yeah.
Like, he almost... It's almost like he switches with the second guy who creates space for Donk as he takes a position to kill.
Yeah. Exactly. But it felt bad that Flamesy was like the only one on the whole Vitality. Like, if I was there, I would have just given him my award and said, here you go, just hold something, because I feel bad for you, bro. Because he deserves a little something, you know? Like, maybe they can open these roles up, but obviously while Donk exists, it's probably not going to happen for him. So sorry, continue after I rudely interrupted you, my friend. I wanted to say a little bit on that.
No surprise. You know, Kisserata and Frozen, second and third place. We have Anchor of the Year. This was always going to go to Messi. I think it was Heavy God and Bit who were the other nominees, but no one could really see it going to them either. Opera of the Year, ZywOo, shocker. IGL of the Year, Apex. I think there is a conversation to be had if Fallen's Resurgence was good enough, but I think it was still pretty clear that Apex is going to win it. Coach of the Year, this one I think a lot of people have split opinions on. I thought that Xtas
did, right?
Yeah.
I was going to say the second place one, because we knew Xtas was going to win, right? But you said Mara second, and so did the panel agree with you, where I said Hallie second. No, who did I?
Yeah,
I said Hallie second, didn't I? Yeah.
And I said Mara. I think we agreed maybe on Hallie second as together.
And Mara just had to be third because of that,
yeah. But that's not how it ended up, but pretty close.
Nope.
Highlight of the year also, the 1v5 with the Galil from Donk.
It's impressive because it's with a bloody Galil and it was 1v5. Like, you don't get many 1v5 aces. They don't happen, right? It's so crazy to pull off. And that was styling on a stage. Yeah, that's what Donk does. So I fully agree with that highlight one. What's also crazy, by the way, is that in the highlight of the year category, there was no ZywOo highlight, despite him being the best player of the year. You know, that's something to look at in there.
To be fair, the highlights of the year were pretty weak, in my opinion. I don't know where because one was like I think it was a 5-7 or duelist ace from Rops. The other one
the
was
fast just spam down.
Yeah.
Twist one was good. Twist one was good.
Twist one was good, yes. Especially because of the weight of the game.
The clutch, a major, the arena. Yeah.
So yes, that, but comparing that to the 1v5, there was not really any competition.
No. And I will say this, right? I struggled when I tried to think what ZywOo had highlights, but maybe I just don't have the brain for it, but I didn't remember a highlight that I would have put there from him. But he must have had some crazy moments as well. But obviously, he also suffers from people are going to complain about this, but he will suffer from the fact that his team can also pick up so many at the same time. You know, like that's what happens when you're on such a stacked team. I'm sure there is
like in the first half of the year that we just don't really remember now. Whilst I mean, Donk's one is going to be just imprinted into your brain because of how good it was. So it was going to win anyways.
Yeah. Oh, yes. All right. Shall we get on with some Rostermania finishing?
Yes.
The rest of we didn't cover. So I'll say this to start off with. Apex is so good, not just as being an IGL and the leader of Vitality and the captain in a way. He went on the HLTV Confirmed podcast and said, like, some moves didn't happen because the prices are too high. So I looked at this into a little bit of detail, right? And this is where Apex is so good because he's honest. There was a time where they didn't want Spinks on the team anymore, but they had to keep playing with him, yeah? The end of 2024, going into 2025. And then they got rid of him. Now, some teams have to go through this where they know that this team is going to change at some point. This is a failed team. But they must keep going. That's what fans need to understand here, is that sometimes your favorite team is not meant to be, and there's no changing it. These are 5 people that have to play together, spend all their time together with the coach as well, and sometimes it just won't work. But then, Apex mentioned about the buyouts and the money. This is what I wanted to look into. I can't name the player because I was talking to them directly, but there is a player who not so long ago was wanted by some very good teams, yeah? his buyout right now was like 600 to 700K. He's a good player, but there is no way any organization right now would pay that for him. He is not a prodigy. He is not some. And people might say, "Oh, well, it's not a lot of money." But orgs are not making that bigger money, especially new orgs or orgs just on the rise. Like it's a select amount that's going to pay that for a player, and getting these younger players earlier sometimes can be a better opportunity, or waiting for a player to come out of contract. So, like the PR Mouse move that I was expecting to happen, or the Infat one, this is 2 years now, by the way. We heard Infat was maybe going to go the end of 2024 after Shanghai. Didn't happen. Yep. We've heard it again in 2025. Something is going on there. Like these are not like someone's just picking his name out and going, "Oh, Jimmy's going somewhere." No, there is information that I've heard, other people have heard, HLTV's reporting, like everyone is saying the same thing. So there is some sort of waiting game going on right now. The PR one as well. I'm still waiting to see what roster Game Legion field. I'm going to be honest, but it doesn't seem to be changing from everything I've been told. But this has been a very lackluster roster mania, and one of those big parts is that if they are a young player right now, be careful how long a contract you're signing and what your buyout is, because otherwise you're in jail and your career could be wasted sitting on a bench. And you might get a bit of money sitting on the bench, right? Usual's 50% of the contract, yeah. But if you're not playing, your value goes down. People aren't paying attention to you anymore. You're not game ready. You're not warmed up. Face it, doesn't compare.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to kind of check. I mean, maybe we can take like Cologne, because just 2025 as a good benchmark for tournaments. So, for example, well, this may be a bad one. They're probably increased now. There was a $60,000 club share for the win of IEM Cologne 2025 for Spirit. If they would want
but that's
to
not
reach...
a big that's not a big one.
No, that's not a big one, but maybe they're more towards 50-50. So if they've, but just imagine, even this bad one, how many tournament wins you'd have to almost guarantee with one player switch and investment in one player for it to pay you back. And that's not talking salary. That's not talking, all the investment you do in his brand, his...
some teams are not doing that anymore, the brand investments.
Well, whatever it is, it's backroom staff. Make sure you have sports psychology. Make sure you have all the programs and things. There's a lot of costs in running a CS team that is invisible for the public eye. And you would win, what? You have to win 10 colognes with that club share to even be close to the buyout. Okay, and you can't...
So I'll give the example. Right, because the Cologne, Krakow are not good examples of this. It's 400,000 for first place. Obviously, the organization, by the way, probably gets 10, 15, maybe 20%, depending on the contracts. The players get the rest. But then the club share is this 60%. Yeah. But at Dallas, it's $125,000 to Vitality. And then club share for the organization, $160,000. Then you've got these frequent flyers and all these other things, which we saw, like Vitality were cleaning up in, Last one,
but even
ESL
if that is the example, imagine you're a top 5 team. You want to buy a player to make your team better and could potentially give you a title next year. But you're not going to do it if you're not being able to bring it back in some way, to guarantee that you're going to win something, to make sure the investment is actually worth it. They're not going to gamble it. Okay, many percent better do we think this player is? Maybe 5%? Is that worth it? Is it worth that gamble? Are we going to reach Vitality's level
that
to be
huge
able to challenge them
investment
for titles and bring that club share home to us? Probably not. And therefore people will back down.
And all these things you're saying, right, is why some of these roster mania things that we hear don't go through, because the return on investment still is a factor, and not all orgs have crazy amounts of money to play with. Not all are built equally in that. Look at, by the way, I'll come on to this. This is going to be another tidbit away from what we're talking about. Astana 2025. Spirit won $200,000. Club share $200,000. It's a 50-50 club share player one, right?
Yep.
PGL backpedaled on that. Originally, they weren't going to do it. It was all going to be one. Now it is this way, But guess what I heard? More teams will be attending PGL events this year. Like more top teams, more of the elite teams. I'm not sure which ones it's going to be, but I checked this out after Apex. Basically, they were talking about the calendar. They had it up with Chad and Mira, the journalist, legendary journalist, by the way, from Portugal. So much experience in the game since the very early days. They were talking about this with Vitality, and Vitality said, like, oh, we can't say if we're going or not now. By the way, I'm working some PGL events, but I don't know which teams are attending or what's agreed. We don't have that information. So I did some checking, and compared to last year where you were not seeing the top teams go, it seems something has changed. And I'm not sure what it is. I don't know the reasons why, but there'll be more of these top teams going to PGL, maybe because of this back and forth they've had, or how at least all of the events for PGLs on LAN and highly weighted games better for VRS. So there has been a shift. And I feel like Vitality kind of gave it away that they're going, you know? Because they're going to do 16 events this year.
It's still, I think it's good. I don't think it should be, you know, I understand why orgs do it. They want to control their revenue share and stream whatever revenue they can get a hold of with the best teams attending. But I personally never feel like it should be that decides why teams are going or not, that they are kind of forced into just, it should just be make the best event possible, make people want to go, you know, in the best of worlds. I understand it will probably never work like that, but in my perfect world, that's how it should be.
The perfect world that doesn't exist, but I do appreciate you for trying. Let's start with looking at NIP. Obviously, Ujax went away. We were waiting to see who they were going to sign. There were some rumors around who it could be. It ends up being Cairne, another Ukrainian player. Now they've got two Artems on the team, Wrinkle and Cairne in here. And this rebuild, this is a win from NIP. I don't know who's behind it, who's pulling off, who's deciding on getting these moves going. Snappy was a big voice in which new players they wanted for Ents, you know, when Ents were growing as a team. And bro, Snappy, Shush, Wrinkle, Xkacpersky, and Cairne now. Like this is a team I can see being a top 15 or better in the world, being back at the big events.
Yeah, I think it's a good move. I want to see more from him. I've watched him a little bit when he was in Inner Circle. He looked to be, you know, a very aggressive player and like to be almost in that carry roles, if so to speak. So we'll see how it kind of suits them role-wise. If someone has to move or make space for him, maybe Xkacpersky needs to be, I guess, less of an entry, or maybe they just put Cairne in that role. We will see how it kind of fits together.
I think that suits Xkacpersky really well, though, right?
Yeah,
like
I think it probably
freeing him up. Oh, like for me, Shush, stable, steady, was playing above what was expected of him as the team was just gaining their feet. Now, obviously, Wrinkle had a bit of a downturn. Yeah, we spoke to him about that during the major. He started to show up a bit better. If you get Wrinkle, Xkacpersky, and now Cairne together on a good or normal level or push above their level, NIP is scary, man. I think this is a huge win.
It could be a really, really fun match to watch, the opening in the Blast Bounty between NIP and Liquid. It's a good test for both teams to kind of see where the level is at. So I'll be watching out for that game if you're interested to see how they mesh together.
Definitely. And then after that, we got to talk about a friend of yours, Mr. Friberg, takes over as Johnny Speed's coach. Now, obviously, Friberg is a legend of the scene for ever so long. Everyone knows about his career and his history, but he's joining up with this Johnny Speed's team, which is, I'll say, like middle of the pack of the Swedish scene. There was times where we were hyping him up a bit more than it was slowing down. He takes over from Barbara, who was at one point in Valorant, but now he came back to CS. But Friberg can bring a lot to these guys because outside of Draken and Lekro, the experience isn't quite there. And he might have just a different, fresh perspective right now. Obviously, it's his first coaching gig. Like, that's the only thing, is it's his first coaching gig. This is going to be a lot for him to learn and take in, right?
Yes, but I think the good thing about Friberg is that he has been, you know, ever since like I think it's 2 years he's almost been casting in Swedish at pretty much every like
Mm.
on a weekly basis
Okay, I didn't know.
for esports studios. So he's followed a lot of these teams, a lot of the teams that they are going to be facing up against, and the team
Yep.
itself. So we'll have a pretty good idea going into it. I do think it's a pretty tough job to start with. I think there's a lot of potential in these players, but I think you know it can be a tough start for him, but I think that Freiberg will do good no matter what. I think that this is just kind of a team for him to show himself off as a coach, to see the
Hmm.
development with high skilled players, and make sure that he maybe is viewed. This is not something he has said, but this is just my opinion on it. That
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think that this is just a stepping stone for him to reach the absolute top tier scene. And this is a good place to
Okay.
start. Tough start because I think it's always easier maybe in a top 30, 40 team rather than Johnny Speeds, who is what are they ranked? 62.
Yeah, it's quite low down. Hmm.
But people are going to see his value, and they're going to see it pretty quick. I think he's
Yeah.
excellent at, not only the game, but also the way that he gives information and,
Okay.
coaches people in a very soft way.
Yeah,
Can
he
teach
does.
people in a
He does
soft
come
way.
across like that to me. He
Yep.
is the like soft, cuddly version of what you would expect from a coach, in
But
my
he
opinion
can
of just knowing
definitely get
him.
mad. He can definitely get mad, and I think he understands that you need discipline and everything, and people need to do
Yeah,
their shit. And he's wanted to become a coach for a long time now, so it's always been like I want to do this for him.
yeah.
In every time I've spoken to him in the past 1.5 years, so I'm excited to see what's cooking over there.
Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on it. Good luck to Freiberg in his new adventure. First time coaching is great to see. We're going to go on to a kind of German side, maybe not German anymore, still three German people on there. The biggest confusing team of Counter Strike, but not always just in a bad way. Big Clam have fallen so far down on people's expectations. Like they are ranked, at least on HLTV 57, so even lower on VRS. No, 35 on
Yep.
VRS.
Yep.
Okay, 35 on VRS isn't bad.
But
It's
after a
not
hundred
terrible.
coaches, they felt no, we need a new in-game leader.
Bro, this is what's crazy. Is they take Blame F, which by the way, I'm not even going to start to talk about the rumors of money. People just said the buyout or the salary or whatever was offered was huge. That's why he's gone from Fnatic, right? But Blame F comes in to be the IGL. Faven gets brought back after 2 years of not being on the team. Process gets the kick for I don't know how many times he's been in and out of the team. Like Big is recycling stuff all the time. Look, Process's career started from Fnatic Rising, yeah. Then he went Big Academy, Big Academy, big, and now he's Big Academy again. That's
Yep.
crazy. That's
They also
actually
added
so crazy.
Grix and which they probably added a little bit earlier.
Griggs was a while ago.
And
Griggs was quite a while
yeah,
ago.
and then Tizian as an assistant coach.
And they're bringing Tizian back, you know?
Yep.
So this is all going on within Big. They're obviously going back to speaking English again, right? We've known this. This is, for me, this doesn't make me think anything wow. I just might expect that Blame
I
F
mean,
can
this is
bring a
the
different
last.
view of CS.
This feels like the last push for them. Like we need to do something
Didn't we say this
drastic,
before?
big, and yes, but I don't know, man. I obviously rate
I
Blame F and some of these players. Even Faven did really well in 9, but it just
yeah.
I'm kind of deflated on Big. They'll have to kind of
For
massively
real.
prove me wrong to kind of
Oh,
get me any kind of hope for them before I mean, it's a good move. Can't deny that, but is it enough? I don't know.
thing is, I like some of the players on this team. Yeah, I can't talk badly about it. I don't understand the direction. I don't understand these constant changes. I don't understand what they're trying to achieve here, you know? And we've given them so many chances to see what they can do. Grix is a talent to work with for the future. JDC has been promising, but obviously he's been stuck here for a while. Tabson, he's not the Tabson of old. It's not the same Tabson, and he's not IGLing. And Farven did look better on 9, but I hope he doesn't just like become a shell of himself, or they don't play the way like for me, for Farven to work to the same level he was, he needs to have some good understanding with Blame F on how to use him. Like they need to agree on all of this, you know?
I think the biggest reason Faven played really, really well was because 9 they had Sejot. He was a really aggressive entry man. And I think Faven does his best work in positioning and kind of listening for rotations and kind of positioning himself afterwards into a very backstabby kind of approach and pressuring at the right time. He has a good understanding of the game. But for that movement to kind of occur, you need someone to be able to be very aggressive, hands-on, and push for those entries. If they fall with man disadvantage, maybe less impressed.
All right, we're going to go from Germany to Brazil. Now, it's not what I wanted for Pain. They didn't get Insani, but we understand the reasons why they couldn't get Insani. Do you remember VSM from all those years ago? We haven't seen him for so long on a top level.
He was great, but then he got the backban account thing that happened.
Oh, I didn't even remember that.
Oh, that's why he never came to the pro scene, I'm pretty sure. There was
because he had that MIBR stint when I was doing interviews with him.
Yeah, but there was some old account or something that came up when he was in that MIBR.
Of
that's
course.
why they couldn't continue with him. But he was actually a sick player. I loved watching him. Always great vibes as well on camera. So he's a huge smile. Look out for that.
Yeah. Bro, he is a vibe. He is a vibe. Yeah. Also, their vibe was dead. Their vibe in Pain was dead. So I'll give them a positive on that. And then they're also taking on, I don't know how to say this guy's names, Piriaja?
I say Piria Jr.
Piria Jr. Yeah, let's go with that. That's probably much better than what I said. Again, not a player that like people were shouting names about within the Brazilian scene. There's got to be something there, but I'm just happy Pain's on an all Brazilian lineup. I've got no information. There's nothing I can go off here to be like, wow, this is going to be amazing, blah, 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 yeah. But they've gone back to all speaking Portuguese as they wanted to. This is the team they wanted to go with. VSM, we know. I do feel like, though, with these moves, Snow has to now deliver. I don't want any more of this quiet Snow. He's having bad games, even though he's got great positions again. This needs to be Snow. Lights out, Boa Caralho, everything else with it, and owning.
Yep.
That's it. It can't just be now he's there to shout and scream. Like, we need to see the best of Snow. Because they've given him everything. They've given him everything. After that, this is a great one. The next one's beautiful for you here. Finally, someone listened to the Devilwalk and they picked up Marden. Marden has been, I feel sorry for him, man. One of the most underrated, considering how good he has been. And after his time on Ents, even when he picked up a Dallas trophy, he had Falcons, which was obviously destined to fail because it's Falcons at the time when he's being brought in for the VRS. Then Zero Tenacity. Then it was now Fnatic. You know, he obviously has so much he can add to the team. Bro, did you read the quote, by the way, that Fnatic put out? It felt like a bit disrespectful to Blame. It said, I'm just going to open it up. My internet is slow as hell in this hotel, by the way.
I think I read it. It was something about
part of the
direction.
system we are building for the future, we identified the need to shift towards a more proactive, entry-focused, and aggressive rifler approach. Like, that's like a slant on Blame F, in my opinion.
I mean, it's also the truth, because, I mean, Blame F is great at that, but he's in the same sense that, you know, we look at the comparison of Donk and Flamesy, Blame
Mm-hmm.
F is a soft entry
Yeah,
style
yeah, yeah,
player.
yeah.
He's doing it with freedom. He's doing it on his own accord. He's doing it when he wants to. It's not him creating space. He's using
Mm-hmm.
the space. And I think that Madden is kind of the hard entry style. If you want someone to do that, he is definitely willing. He's great at it. He, brings a lot of different qualities as well. I've always hyped him up. He's an incredibly easy player to play with because you never need to
Mm-hmm.
worry about him. You never need to feel like he like explain things to him. It comes natural to him. He understands what he needs to do for you, and that is value in itself. It makes your Counter-Strike game play faster, more intuitive,
Yep.
more flow based. So I think we're probably going to see a faster paced Fnatic, or at least a faster,
Yes.
when things start to happen, it's going to go a little bit quicker. And I think that could be, very good for a young team like Fnatic.
Well, I'm glad you said this, right? Because everything you just said there also plays perfectly into the hands of the Ukrainian core. Because Fear will want to play more like this. So now, Fear doesn't have excuses. Give him some time with Madden in there, but there's no excuses now. Independence obviously got to do the work as well as coach to fit them in. But this for me is such a positive because Madden also, he's fiery. Yeah. He'll bring that hype.
He's
He'll bring that
welcome.
energy to the team. And Fear has that, but obviously he's IGLing. Jambo and Jacasmo don't have that. And Crims, we saw him on LAN, get a bit more, but I'm not looking at Crims to be the one bringing the energy every single round of the game. So I feel like vibes-wise, they've got a good balance. I feel like in positions and how they're going to play as a team, this looks like this has been very well thought out, and this should now suit what Fear needs. And I don't want to see Jambo going for them entry AWP crazy players on B ramp ancient anymore. Yeah, you've got Madden now. Then you can trade afterwards, do your magic stuff after that. This should work.
Yeah, I think it's probably a good switch and can probably suit the entire team. Because I mean, all respect to Blame F, but to play this slow encroaching style that probably is more towards his liking than many of the other players in the team can be
Mm-hmm.
very, very hard, especially for young players. I think the older you are, the more comfortable you are playing slow against some of the best teams. And that's why Blame F is so good at it, right?
Yeah.
He has so much experience, he knows so much about the game, but not everyone's going to be at that line of thinking or at that point in their career. And yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to
Yeah.
be a good switch. I think it's going to be healthy for everyone in that team.
Small one here. This is BetClick, the Polish side. Obviously, we saw them when it was BetClick Apogee. They made it to a PGL Bucharest one time. I really like their coach, Bogdan. Great guy, awesome coach, super hardworking. The team is obviously going through changes. They bring Hades in. Now, we've seen Hades on ENCE, Nine, Monty, G2, Inner Circle. Yeah. I really like the guy. But if this move now doesn't work, I don't know where he goes or what he does. This has to be the one that pulls off something for him. Because he's had his chances, he's had moments, but I feel like this is getting to the warning signs of what can you offer now?
But he's almost become like the new Smooya. In like
Just
standing
fitting
into
in.
teams. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that Hades and Smoothie are comparable, like personality wise. I don't think so.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
he stood into a lot of different teams for a long time now, ever since ends, I guess.
Yep.
So it's good to see him in like a stable project where he can show his best work, because it's not easy for him to just go into different teams all the time and trying to prove a point.
Definitely. ZywOo one, by the way. I messaged the manager Jack, who I talk with quite a bit. I just want to. I'm gonna make sure I'm going to do this correctly because I don't want to say the wrong information. I should have got this up earlier as we move on to this. I'll say this just from my aspect of looking at ZywOo and the Chinese scene. This is a great move. Yeah, ZywOo is young, hungry for the opportunity, performs well within China, and they basically just said to me. He's playing for a Chinese semi-pro team called CTG. He was doing very well there, so they were looking at him, and they just said he's got a lot of raw talent, and that he showed a lot of potential to grow into like the solid player they need. You know, especially obviously in the anchor roles. So he fits what they need, and he's young, adaptable, and with no offense to Attacker has been there a long time, a bit older now as well. This is what ZywOo needed. But bro, have you seen their VRS rank? I didn't know it was so bad. It's 63 right now because of the fallout. So they have a long way to climb. They're going to have to come to Europe for some small events, obviously all the smaller Asia events as well. But this is a ZywOo that can rise because right now you've got Jamyong and G who are playing really well. Mosier and Mercury can pop off at any point as well. Like, if this kid can work, this can see them rise the way everyone wants.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely the department that kind of a lot of the time, unfortunately, was the role you could pinpoint where they were lacking. So yeah, makes sense. I know nothing about him, literally. So it's gonna be interesting to see.
Get that information for us.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting to see. I think it will be an upgrade no matter what, no matter how experienced the attacker is. They needed some kind of extra firepower on that position. So yeah, excited to see. I think you can never kind of underestimate ZywOo. They're always dangerous, but they just need to be sharp enough to kind of close out games. So that's what they're looking for 2026.
Astralis, very quickly, not too much time on this. Fozy, Ryu, however you want to say it, they are confirmed now. So it is an international Astralis. A lot of work to do. I think this makes them very vulnerable at the beginning unless they have a good honeymoon. We'll see them in action at Blast, and that'll be something we'll learn from it.
Yeah, I think two young players, they probably need a little bit of fresh blood. They probably needed to remove some experience in a sense because it did not look like they had, the exact same idea of how to play Counter-Strike when they were on a server together. And that's why I'm saying remove some experience, let Huxi lead, let Huxi create, and go with that instead of having too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, that's fair. On the back of the Astralis thing, Stown was quite an emotional field message coming out there from him. It does seem nice that there's a handshake on that he is now a free agent, no team. It's by the way, I'll just say this. I'm so happy that he was smart enough and aware enough to take this time to get help and to make things better for himself. He is such a good player when he was playing within CSGO. We didn't see that so much in CS2, but we know what is possible. And he's still 23, very young, accomplished player as well. Yeah, it was only 2023. He was the 9th best player in the world. So given the right team and the right opportunity, and I think it should still be a tier 1 team, Stown can add a lot. Stown can definitely add a lot. But I think he needs that team system similar to what he had in those heroic days.
I think, unfortunately, he's not going to get a tier 1 team. I think he's going to have to kind of slowly grind himself up. I'm not saying top 50 team, but I think that maybe top 30 and then prove himself a little bit all over again.
Does he not get a team for this first part of the season and then OG do okay, but Cadian brings him back? Just in my mind.
Probably.
Just in my mind. It could be an option.
Yeah, I mean, we were thinking about Stown for this OG already in the past, I think. So, could be an option. Could be a good option. I think it just needs time to find enjoyment again. Sorry.
Yeah.
Had a little burp.
It's all right. It happens. Too much fizz in your life.
Yeah.
On to Fluxo, benching Art. Art obviously had a chance to rebuild within this team. Yeah.
And this was with the Exit joining, I think, or was it rumored?
Exit. Well, it says Fluxo has reached a verbal agreement with former MIBR captain Exit. Now, Exit, good Brazilian captain, yeah, might be the type of leader they need for this project. Something obviously happened where they stopped believing in the way Art was calling it. I'm not surprised. He had a couple of major chances with it. The first major in Austin was very inexperienced team. They changed things up, but they had an opportunity to do better at this last major. And I feel like, they played FaZe close, but they didn't close it out,
They should have won.
And that's all it will be remembered as. Yeah, we all said that at the time. Yep. We all said it at the time. And they started off 2-0, by the way. Fnatic game leads, and then lost the FlyQuest, lost the NIP, and then FaZe in the close one. So let's see what happens, if Exit does join or not. But again, we haven't got tons of information on these guys. Who is the next one? Heroic, right? By the way, this one surprised me. I didn't expect Youngster to be the one that was cut. I don't even know if I agree with this one.
I mean, I think the reason is probably because of how streaky Heroic has been. And remember when I talked about, for me, Youngster is the most important player for Heroic if they win or not. If he has a good game, they usually win. But if he has a bad game, they'll usually lose. And I think this is mostly because of consistency issues rather than like a skill issue to any degree. It's just felt like Youngster hasn't really gotten that consistency part yet. He has very good performances, but have very, very bad performances as well. And this just looks like, okay, Susp, he's very consistent, very good at his role. And, he was great in wildcard. So I think it's more to that rather than anything else. I don't think
more stable.
People should sell Youngsters stocks or anything, but he'll probably get a team.
I'm not. It's my worry is what kind of team, what kind of team he could fit on. That's the problem here for me.
Yeah.
A really positive one. I think. I'm very positive about this. Taz to BC game is perfect. This is exactly the project Taz needs, because you're putting together different personalities, different cultures, simple, everyone knows about him, electronic, yeah? And then putting him to try and make this team work, you need that coach who can be a bit tough, who can keep the team together, can make sure things don't implode as well from all angles.
Make sure everyone stays at the boot camp.
Exactly. Like this for me, this was great. I'm really happy with this. Really, really happy with this.
Yeah, I think it's as well. It's the perfect. He has recent experience with doing with G2. Should be very, very up to date to the meta, and I think that's something that both electronic and simple kind of need, because it's easy when you're so good to kind of stay in the same thought process as when you were good. And I think having a little bit of an update from how it was in a top team of the world that Taz was in G2 can be great for these players, can be great for everyone, in combination with, Mutteris in-game leading. So, I'm excited for this team in a sense, but I still retain my opinion.
Yeah, there's not.
It's almost like a placeholder team. So we'll see what happens in the future.
It's a how long can this 5 last and how it manages it. Taz needs to manage as much as possible to get the most out of it so they don't just drop VRS points for no reason the whole time. Obviously, Krakow's the first time we'll see them invited. What I will say?
This is Hunger Games for Portuguese people.
Oh, God. If you know, you know. That's a way of putting it. And then Taz needs to keep them all together. That's the main thing here, right? That's what we need to see. But I like the move for Taz completely. I'm really happy with it for him. And the last piece of news, obviously we spoke about them 1,000,001 times. You wrote on our document, 100 Thieves, not unks. Technically, they're not, because the average age, is only 34.6. I think what Reigns 31.
What do you mean?
No, sorry,
34?
24.6. Bro, I'm tired. 24.6. Reigns 31. Device is 30, and then they got the youngsters in to bring the average age down. I know. Dude, this was always going to be a hard episode. But yeah, this team, I like it. I love the way they're going. They don't have any VRS points. I love the fact that Messioso is on this team because he is one of those smart guys on everything VRS. He understands it all, where to go, where to take the risk, where not to take the risk. This is a team that will probably climb the rankings very well if they can get this all going together.
Yeah, it's a smart build of a team. They've obviously taken in two players who have massive amounts of experience in Device and Rain, added young talent. You know, in Sweden, Poi is considered one of the biggest talents of the scene. And I think more of a ready-to-go product than someone like Mail. Because of, you know, he's played in Alliance, who is a very tactical team in the Swedish scene, whilst playing that aggressive rifler star roll rifle. So very, very well put up team. They have all of the, you know, agile. Obviously, if you look at stat pages, very, very good at clutching. You have Poi and Sira. Sira more like mix between clutching and entering, while Poi is just a very, very, very aggressive rifler. So I think they have a good mix of both experience, youngster, the right roles, the right attributes for these young players. It's not just he's a good player stats wise, bring him in. It makes sense what they're trying to build. So you know, I'm hoping to see them climb the ranks. I still have like reserved opinions based on that they will reach maybe top 10 this year, but I would
that's a bit more
see
than
them maybe be able to climb up to that top 15, get a bunch of underdog victories against some good teams and kind of shoot up. I think that that's still possible. They have everything good in the team. It's actually 50-50 on youngsters and experience, because they have Glaive as well. I forgot about him, weirdly enough.
Bro, this is what I was going to say, right? Because you're saying all these stuff about how a team come together, what it can rise to be. Obviously, Glaive has never coached before, but one of the greatest in-game leaders of all time. For many people, he is the greatest in-game leader of all time. What I love with this team is if you are Agile, Sira, and Poi, look who you have alongside you. Like, look to the left, look to the right, and go, oh my God. Obviously, you can't sit there and go, oh my God, but you have major champions. You have some of the most experienced players to learn from, to grow with. You're going to sit there, you're going to listen, you're going to work hard. This is your golden opportunity of career success. And 100 Thieves have shown, to me with this moves, by the way, that this is not a short-term project. This is not 100 Thieves into CS, then they'll leave again if they don't have success, because this is going to take a year or so to come to fruition.
Yeah. No, 100%. I think it's a really well-made lineup, and I'm excited to see them. I'm excited to see what they can bring. It just looks like a well-planned, put-together team. So, yeah. I'm going to leave it at that. Just really excited to see them.
All right, and the last thing, obviously everyone knows it by now, but Valve for, what was it, the 19th of January is the official thing for competitive? Map pool change, I think it is.
Yeah, map pool in the game, yes.
In the game. Minus Train plus Anubis. I don't agree with Minus Train. I saw some stats posted on Twitter about Train was the least played Premier map, blah, blah, blah. It's probably one of the least played maps in FACEIT. I don't know that. Good. But it was so good. I love this map, yeah? And then we get Anubis. We get Anubis that hasn't changed. Now, the CT economy has changed, but I still think the map itself needs some changes. I will also say that we were hoping Cash, obviously Valve deemed it not ready. I just don't think Train needed to go. If you really want to add Anubis again, Train was not the one that needed to go. Inferno, Mirage, Dust 2, any of those. But because they're played so much, all 3 maps. Even we play it on our faces, right? They come up all the time. Like,
the only problem is Inferno is exciting to watch as a decider in best of threes. It actually is, to some degree. Still exciting
nostalgia
to watch.
As well. Yeah. Yeah.
But it honestly doesn't play very well.
And so, oh, by the way, another thing. Valve. I love you guys for everything you have given us. But I remember it's Shanghai. Yeah. Everyone knew about the map change that was coming. It was discussed. It was widely known. Make this known as early as possible. Like, let's just agree on...
Just announce it before the grand final of the major.
Yes, true, but maybe that then also forces teams to go, oh, well, we're going to take a shorter break and we'll get ready for the new map. That's probably a good thing, but people need time off. Yeah, have an actual announcement. I get you, I get you. That's not very Valve.
In the vacation and think of map strats.
Yeah. But yeah, we need it earlier because both Blast and Krakow are going to be played on this, and it's not a lot of time. It's not a lot of it. There's not a lot of notice.
The only good thing in this case is that it's an old map that every pro player has played in the past. So people will know how to play it to a degree.
Yep.
Whilst it would have been way more difficult if they just added a map that no one has really set foot on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. I played one today. Won it. Played middle CT. Felt good to get naded in window again and shot through smokes.
I'm not a mid player, thank God. At least it's a more active, fun play. I hate being the B player.
I still think
no problem. I'll play A all day.
If there's one update Anubis needs, it's change the fucking site names. Why is
if you change it now, people are going to be tilted. I know.
Do it for the love of God. Why do you have the small site as A and the big site as B?
Just Valve things, baby. Just Valve things. All right, let's get on to the last segment that we've got here. I think it's one of the last segments, right? Yep, one of the last segments. So, Blast Bounty, it's what I'm here for in Malta, 2026 Season 1. There is some format changes that I spoke about on the draft show. Remember, Blast Bounty is the most chill of the Blast events. It starts online. It's 32 teams, so it's a lot of teams. There's club share in this online stage for all the teams from 32 to 16th. Oh, sorry, to 9th, should I say. And then the top 8 go to LAN finals. It's best of 3s, but single elimination. So it's tough. It's real tough. Yep. It's online, so it doesn't hit as hard on the VRS. And already, some of the teams, the names that skipped it, we've got Maus, Mongols, G2. Obviously, Maus played Bounty last year this time, lost, and then decided to remove themselves after that, right? They said, Shuhei's got to go. We're making a quick change. Brolan's going to be IGL. Spinks is coming in. That's why I'm expecting maybe there still could be a Maus change, maybe it's on the cards. But G2 and Mongols are not there as well. The online is not appealing, yeah? The single elimination is not appealing. But the frequent fire things and all that for Bounty is very good. If you get to the LAN final for the top teams, it's very good as well. The draft where you get to pick, so the lower rated teams, the 17 to 32 get to pick from the top 16 teams. And bro, within the top 16 teams, there was some potentially good picks. If you're looking at Astralis after recent changes, you're looking at Aurora, for example, who haven't looked too hot. Game Legion in the position they're in. So there was a lot of stuff to play with here and interesting games to look at. There's a lot of teams people have not seen in a long time. We're getting the OG game. We're going to see Eyeballers again. JW picking phase. That was big balls. There's some interesting matchups even in the opening games here. But obviously, the main thing is just getting to the LAN finals. That's what everyone's looking at. That's what everyone's looking at here. What do you make of the format?
It's quirky and fun. But do I put this tournament to hold any sort of weight as a competitor? No.
Apex called it a warm-up. He said it's the warm-up of officials.
It just feels like a quirky tournament. And, you know, I mean, we can even draw it back to the Donk discussion of, you know, player of the year. They won 2 of these last bounties. But as like someone that has competed, as someone who's been in these tournaments, this is not a tournament that I put weight on, because this feels like an online qualifier to what, an 8-man LAN.
Yeah, 8 team
and
LAN
even the
final.
8-man LAN, yes, it's a very strong qualifier. It's a tough qualifier. It's you know, it's one of the hardest qualifiers in the space, but it's still to me a qualifier. And an 8-team tournament isn't that exciting and holds that much weight for me as well. You know, so I'm mixed on that. If they wanted it to hold weight, this isn't the way to do it. But in terms of, you know, starting the season, having a little bit of a fun, quirky tournament, yes, I like it that way.
Well, let's look down, right? Some of the teams we've got here, some teams we haven't spoke about during this off season. So your usual suspects: Vitality, Furia, Falcons, FaZe, Na'Vi, Spirit. Obviously, great. We get the Spirit debut here. Magic's and Zontic's back. Magic's obviously IGL. Aurora, now they have Anubis, which was always their go-to map of the past. Payne's new lineup on show here. Same for Astralis. M80 off the back of the Flom win. Actually, after this, we'll talk about the Flom tournament as well, because Flom deserves love for the amazing event he put on. Game Elysian, will PI actually be playing? Nip, we get to see in action with a new team.
Also, can Vitality win a Blast Bounty?
Well, statistics would say no, but they are the favorites still. But statistics would say no. FUT in there as well, the old Na'Vi Junior lineup, FUT.
Yeah.
This is a very exciting team for where they're at right now and the opportunity this event gives them. Comfort online to start off with. This is a team I would say is like my dark horse of potentially getting through to the LAN finals.
Who? FUT?
FUT, yeah.
Huh.
It's going to be hard.
Interesting choice.
It's going to be hard, but if they win the first game, right? They play against OG. Yeah, OG. So pretty comfortable first game. OG picked them.
Yeah.
Yep. Then they go into the draft again. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it could be in a good spot.
They could be in a good spot. Nothing about that. I think this is a tournament. A lot of things can happen. A lot of the top teams can be in bad shape because it is online. It is tough for them, and it's also a very
FaZe don't like online.
I think that this is the type of tournament where a lot of the teams that have been playing just online matches and haven't really gotten a chance probably started practicing a week earlier than the top teams for this tournament. So
yeah,
we're
OG were on
see
boot camp, for example.
A lot of mixed results in this tournament. It's one of those. It's interesting to kind of set the stage for the season, but it's not going to determine pretty much anything.
And another crazy thing, right? I get you. Inner Circle is the lowest rank. No, sorry. OG is the lowest ranked team, 49th VRS right now.
Ah, okay.
That's how many teams, by the way. So it's 32 teams, but so many teams said no to attending. NRG also cancelled their spot here because they were playing the Flom LAN. They came second place there. Then they would have to come from playing the finals into playing. I think they were playing. Were they playing today? Yeah, they're playing on a 14th. It's just not worth it for them. Not a good thing to do. So they're replaced by friendly campers. So do you want to go, the predictions for this is going to be nuts, but we can try and do 16 predictions. Why not?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, OG FUT. FUT.
How are you? Are you just going on matches here?
Matches. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. OG FUT.
FUT. He's taking some time. I thought we lost you. You've gone so quiet.
I'll pick OG.
Really? Because?
Let's just have a fun game here. I will pick them because they still have some really good players. They're Flamus back on the server.
Okay.
I think there's I don't think it's clear on either side who's gonna win.
All right. Eyeballers phase.
Has to be an eyeballers, right? ZywOo coming in against the grand finalist of the major, knifing Kerrigan 3 times.
I wrote a note about this. So they last played each other 5.5 years ago, JW and Kerrigan, when Kerrigan was still on Mouse.
Imagine the amount of information that JW have gathered for this moment.
I will say, eyeballers, this means so much to them. This means so much to them.
But I also think that eyeballers is the type of team that FaZe struggle with the most. They're aggressive, they're very poppy, their individuals likes to take moves and do things on the server. They can look almost, it's not random, but they like to take timings as individuals. And I think this can create a lot of chaos, which FaZe are normally the one that likes to create the chaos themselves. And if they face another team, like when they played B&E, they always struggled against them because of that chaos creation. That you're playing a team that likes to play in chaos as well, it can be very back and forth.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pick eyeballers as a random prediction here, just because of that. I still think FaZe is heavy favorites, but I think that if there's any point in time that eyeballers is going to be able to beat FaZe, it's in the beginning of the season when they want it the most.
I think FaZe will struggle at some point during this tournament online, just not against eyeballers. So I do think FaZe will take it.
Yep.
Fnatic Astralis. I'm going for Fnatic.
I'm going for Fnatic as well.
Hotu and Aurora. I think Aurora.
I think Aurora, but Hotu has showed that they can be really good in these kind of online stages.
They even played good at EPL when it wasn't online. You know, they had that crazy run. Passion UA Gamer Legion. Passion.
Yes. I will pick Passions. I think it's a close one as well, but I will pick Passions.
Friendly Campers, Heroic. I'm going Friendly Campers.
Friendly Campers, you say? But
some people were trying to say, I was just reading this online. Some people were trying to say Friendly Campers are ridiculously good online. That's the only reason I'm going for it.
Well, I'm going Heroic.
Smart man. Monty Navi. Virtus Pro Vitality.
Even though I'm pretty sure Vitality is going to lose some game at this tournament for some reason.
Of course you say that. M80 Gentlemates.
Oh, I've liked what M80 has brought, but Gentlemates, it's the battle of mates, man.
I think Gentlemates have a good chance in this.
I think so as well, but I'll pick M80. I was impressed with what they did at the major, even though they kind of flunked at the end. I liked.
I think the Flom LAN win will carry M80 to a victory, but Gentlemates will give them a hard time. Inner Circle 3D Max. I'm going Inner Circle, bro. 3D Max online, boy.
I'm going 3D Max.
Okay. Nip Liquid. Nip for me.
I pick NIP.
Yeah, I would too. Ecstatic Falcons. Has to be Falcons, right? There can't be a way we're saying it's
Nut,
who just lost their best player. Yeah, I love Nut's name, but they did just lose their best player.
Yeah, I'm picking Falcons.
Ents Paravision. Paravision was the way.
Paravision.
Yeah, Paravision. Sinner's Spirit. There's just Spirit. Funny story though. Well, not funny story, crazy story. Sinners, right? When we did the interview during the draft pick, Beastick was talking to us. He almost didn't make it to the show because he hit a deer with his car. Luckily, he's fine, and the deer's fine. The deer just got up and walked off. But obviously, he was probably shaken up by it. Crazy, huh?
I have to report it anyways.
Yeah, but it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We met
Spirit.
deer,
sorry, Sinners. Oh, God.
On the road.
You said hi? Had a tea?
Well, we managed to stop. It was like a week ago or something. When we went to my girlfriend's parents, it was like 6 deers on the road. Just honked our horn and said goodbye.
Well, you know, when I'm driving, obviously from Ukraine and Slovakia each time, the males are called stags, right? The huge antlers. I think so. Yeah. Bro, we come around a corner. He's not in the middle of the road. He's just on the side of the road, just staring. And he's huge. I mean, if I got out, he would be taller than me and bigger than me in every way. They're actually quite an intimidating animal. Yeah. It's kind of wild. Bet Boom Pain. This is interesting. Bet Boom Pain for the next game.
I'm going for the vibes. Bet Boom is not notorious for the vibes. I'll tell you that. So I'm going VSM.
You're going VSM? That's it. Not even Pain.
VSM. That's it.
All right. I believe in Pain as well. I can't knock NQC. 9 Furia. Surely Furia.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm with that as well. Well, there's all our predictions. Now, obviously, there's another stage to go through after that. There'll be the round of 16 going down to the round of 8. More matches coming out there. But who do you think is winning this event, Devilwalk? I'll let you go first.
Qualifier or event?
No, because you just need... Oh, yeah. Do you want to do the 8 teams that will make it?
We can.
You want to do the 8 teams? You want me to go first or are you ready?
I can go. Vitality, Furia, Falcons, Navi, Spirit, Aurora, NIP, and FaZe.
Oh, you still think... Okay. So for me, Vitality, Furia, Falcons, Navi, Spirit, Aurora, Pain, FUT.
All right. Who wins the event?
That's my wild pick in the FUT. Who wins it, bro? I want to say Vitality, but they've never won a bounty. But I think I said they're going to win both last bounties. You're going Spirit to win it again. Back to back bounty champions.
Magic's
farming Blast
back.
bounty. Zontic's also did win the last one. I'm going to say this. Falcons are going to win Blast Bounty. Didn't change team. Right. Rejuvenated. Been on boot camp. Going to cook something up. I think Vitality are still one of the favorites. I think Furia can be wobbly a little bit, you know? And I think that for Vitality, Furia, this event is not as maybe stand out as what it would be for Spirit or Falcons. It would be maybe a bit more focused.
It's different. I think Vitality need breaks. They need recovery. They're probably not going to be in their best form at the start of the season, is my guess. Spirit, they need a strong start. They've just made a, not a crazy move, but they made a significant move, which needs, public support as early on as possible.
Public support.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say.
All right. Well, the last thing to do before we close out there's two things we need to do. So we need to talk about Flom and his LAN because we need to give our boy some respect. Flom, savior of NA, bringing on his own event. He had his first Flom Mythical LAN at Las Vegas 2026. All America's teams in there, all American teams in there, should I say. There's none from Brazil or anything like that. 8 teams, $30,000 prize pool. M80 just went on a tear. They didn't drop. They had Jaber come in, right? New player or JBA, however you want to say it. 2-0,
Yeah.
2-0, 2-0, 2-0. I wish it was a best of 5 grand final. That would have been nice to see. But super solid stuff from them. NRG in second place. It was a good styled event. Dinko and Moses were giving us great commentary with Flom's voice alongside. They were having some fun with it. They were talking about Semphis looking like a unit the whole time.
Yeah, but they're doing some
I just enjoyed it
beyond
all.
the summit or summit
Yeah.
style commentating event, and it's cool. I liked it.
I hope he does. iOS 3 would be a lot to ask, but at least 2 a year. But I think he's in a position where he could do 3 a year for America, and it would help them so much. And Flom's the guy to do it. And I don't know about the numbers, but I was watching. I thought it was great. I think I just shout out to Flom one time. Great work. I appreciate his effort. And it must have been such an amazing feeling for him to be able to do it there in Las Vegas. I think he lives in Las Vegas as well, right? So Get Right was there as well. It's good times.
Yep.
And look at this. After the VRS rankings, so NRG gained 43 points. Even though they didn't win. Voca gained 105. Obviously, they were quite low down the rankings. But M80 went up 5 ranks, but to 24. NRG went to 22nd with just 1 placement up. That's a big deal, man. Even if you didn't win the event, you go that high. That's crazy good. Crazy impressive. But yeah, shout out Flom one time. Keep doing it. Flying the flag proudly. Then we also need to do the Q&A from our lovely viewers in Discord. We actually got a lot of questions today. Thank you very much, guys. I massively appreciate that. So, is there anyone who doesn't know? Wherever you are in the world, no matter where you're watching this from, maybe you're watching on my Bilibili and you got the Chinese subtitles up, Chinese subtitles up. You can join our Discord. You can ask your questions to us. We will answer it on the show. So, Yin Yang says, of the tier 1.5 to 2 rookies that broke out this year, Xkacpersky, PR, Klim, etc., which ones do you guys think have the most potential to take the next big step into being true superstars in 2026? I think I've said this many times. Klim, for me, was okay, but not a super. I have not seen superstar material, but it might just be because he was on MIBR. Xkacpersky, I'm more hyped around him than PR, but I feel like I've seen better individual moments and on the eye test from PR.
Yeah.
But I'll give it to Xkacpersky at the moment because of recency bias. It really depends where PR goes in terms of a team, because Nip is more upwards right now than Game of Legion.
Where would you put JBA? Is in that category?
Well, JBA was already there in 2024.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. He was on wildcard back then.
I mean, I have to agree with you. I think it's Xkacpersky. I think PR also will have a pretty strong year as well. So they definitely have what it takes to be a superstar, have what it takes to be that next guy we're all looking at. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Poi's interesting, though.
Poi,
your boy Poi.
Definitely interesting. I will also, just to add another Swede in there, I will say...
Of course.
Bob XT.
But we spoke about him for a while already.
Yeah, but it's still from 1.5 to 2 rookies.
Oh, yeah, true. We're not doing it by the fact... Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. I was about to say, I remember seeing him when it was the God-sent lineups into stuff, so, okay.
Yeah.
Next question you can read out, because God knows how you're going to say this name.
J. Kiram says, nice. What changes should Anubis get for the next season? Oof. This one is really tough. I mean...
Because you can break a map with changes so easily as well.
Yeah, I think... Personally, I would probably do some changes towards the A area of pillar and connector, change up the angles a little bit and maybe do the area bigger and add a few things in there, because right now it just feels like this suicide arc you're just running into, and both as T and it's like really awkward as CT as well. Also, the fact that you can see almost from water the plant or where you should plant on that site also makes it a little bit awkward. So I would change something along in that area, and there is space because there's nothing touching other parts of the map necessarily in that area. But this is the area I dislike the most on the map.
I would make connector a little bit shorter so that you can't peek it from the first entry if you're coming from water. So you can only peek it from being inside connector itself. And I would maybe shrink the entrance of B a little bit. B main. Because it's so wide. You could literally fit 4, maybe, I've never tried 5, but like sometimes they can just rush out at you and it doesn't matter what you're doing as a CT. You're just screwed. You're like, there's nothing you can do. It's so hard to hold, man.
I just think executes are way too powerful, and there needs to be either more positions to fill that gap, because with the flashes and molos to eliminate the positions in the execute, it feels almost as CT you have nowhere to stand and nowhere to go. It's almost like you're running around smokes trying to survive and shoot.
Yeah.
It almost becomes a game of luck to some degree, or study where people are running, when they're going to be there. And even if you have that in you, sometimes you're going to fail anyways. So I would change something to make executes less good, I guess, to some extent, to balance the map out a little bit.
All right, the next question's from Jia Feng Tang, and he says, what's your point of view towards the changing of Astralis? They needed to make a change. I'm not sure this is going to be the final change. I don't know enough about Ryu, however you want to say it, on how he will fit in and how well he'll do. But I think this is a needed step that Astralis needed to take in order to get back on the horse again to be a competitive team. And they do have some of these VRS point buffer now with the core they've kept to make something happen. I like the 3 players they did manage to hold on to. Yabi, Stare, and Hooksy together is a very positive thing. I just need to actually see them, what they do as a game, as a team. They didn't sell their players or their core for a reason. They turned down Simple and Electronic, for example. That was the rumor. So they believe in bringing in some of these young players, this new fresh blood. Let's see what they can do.
I think they'll be surprisingly good, but we will see. And by surprisingly good, I'll probably say they'll probably stay at the same rank. That's my surprisingly good.
Okay, so they won't dip down too much yet, or they can fight back up for it. I like that. Last question. You've done him already, but you can do another one. This is good. I don't say his nickname.
J. Kerem says, do you like Simple's gets the VRS core shortcut?
Core shortcut, yeah. Well, so Falcons have done it
to some degree.
Many teams have done it.
I think it's the path they had to take once the team kind of imploded. So to some degree, just to get him back into competing into a relevant bracket, which I'm sure is both like not only really, really important for someone like Simple itself and Electronic to kind of get their motivation up, to get them to the players that they need to be in that lineup. They need to be fighting games that they feel are important. So in that sense, it's probably almost a necessary investment from BC Game, who have banked a lot into this Simple signing. So yes, I like it, but I still think that it's some sort of placeholder. I think it is some sort of, change on the way. Once the core, establishes itself, can keep up with the VRS ranking, when they want to push further, they will make changes. That's my view on it.
And I think what it's the core they got right is maybe also a bit of a wake up call for Simple and Electronic. If other cores didn't want to play with them, They were not able to buy FUT, which seemed to be from the organization side. FUT didn't want to sell after buying the Na'Vi Junior core and working their way up in such a good spot. Astralis didn't want to play with them. That was the rumor as well. Remember, I'm saying rumor here to be clear. So this is also probably a bit of an eye-opening thing for them. Like, wait a second, we're not so interesting that people are going to jump to play with us. This is what we got to do. And now you got to work for it. Now you really got to show up. So it's a shortcut for sure, but many teams have done this in the past. This will keep happening in VRS. If teams and organizations have some sort of money, this will keep happening.
Yep. But we'll wait and see how it turns out.
Oh, yes, we will. Well, that is it for episode 46 right now, getting closer to that 50 number, halfway to 100. Luckily, that's not my age. Thank God for that. Not many more years to go, though. Counter-Strike will still be around at that point. But thank you very much, everyone, for watching. My energy was very low. I apologize for that. This was maybe not the normal quality episode. I am absolutely knackered. I'm going to go roll over and collapse in my bed and be ready for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, DW.
Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe. Leave comments. We'll try to answer. I'll be better at answering as well. Because this man over on some part of the other side of the screen, I don't know if it's right or left. I probably should know, but will be on me and has been on me. So I will comment more.
We will be active. We will do it always. And once again, thank you so much for everyone who voted for me to win Talent of the Year. It does mean so much to me, even if my energy may not show it right now. Back to back, 2 years in a row. I love this game. I love what I do. Counter-Strike is forever, as I keep on saying. We'll see you on the next episode, which will be, we'll try and do one in between the blasts before we get to the LAN finals when teams are coming on in. Stay tuned for it. See you soon. Catch you later.